So today we're gonna, kind of get back to basics. This is called general marketing for a small business, and just kind of get down to, what is it that we need to do? What are the inputs and things that are going to drive, how we connect with our customers. That's why we have this up here in 75 words, no more, no less. Outline your business, and that's where you need to start, right? Your elevator pitch to be able to speak quickly about your business, to give somebody the hook, right, to come in and see you and talk to you more. The chamber had a very good one there too, right? We promote, support, and connect businesses in Genesee County, right? That's the type of thing that we want to get down to, something that's easy, understandable, and tells someone what you do in a couple sentences. So I have this up here for now, and that's something that I'd like you to think about if you have time to scribble some things down now. To talk about, be able to describe your business quickly is super important, right? We only have a certain amount of time when we're talking to people, or when we are marketing via our social media or whatever else. We have to be short, we have to be quick, but we have to be descriptive enough to let someone know exactly what it is that we do. So we're going to start kind of at the beginning here. What is marketing? Marketing is identifying your competition. It's determining who your customers are. It helps define the needs and wants of your customer. And marketing is branding, naming, pricing, and the bridge between paid and earned media. It is not the sale, right? Marketing brings customers to our door, right? We still have to sell to them once they get to our door, right? And whether our front door this day and age for many of us is our website, right? Getting them to our e-commerce, to our social media, or wherever it is we make sales. And I always say, we're not going to talk too much about social media today at all. We can answer some of those questions afterwards if anybody has those, but I think Steven said you had a workshop on that recently or something anyway, right? Am I confused or no?
Yeah, well, it's been a while, but we
Okay.
do those quite often.
Yeah. So, but right, and your social media in the end, and any marketing you do, you want people to show up, right, to drive them to the place of purchase, or drive them to your salespeople to talk to them, right? I mean, that's what our marketing does. It entices people and then gets them to our front door to make that sale. Okay. And a big difference between marketing and selling there. So the two separate functions of our business. Understanding the needs and wants of your customer is super important, right? I mean, that is where our marketing language comes from. Those are those, call them pain points, right? What are the pain points people have that make them come to you to buy your product or service? What is it that they need from you, right? What is it that they want from you, right? Some of your businesses are absolute needs, right? The customer needs this to, or let me think about a grocery store, right? A customer needs food, they need to eat, right? They don't need to eat, right, steak and lobster. That can be a want once they get there, right? But they have to eat something, right? They, depending on what your price is, what your target customers income, right, it is, right? That's super important too. So the 4 P's of marketing, and this is kind of again where we start. Marketing is the management process through which goods and services move from concept to consumer. It includes the coordination of the 4 P's of marketing. So in my previous life, I used to do customer needs workshops with companies like Apple and AT&T, and we'd spend a lot of time doing focus group type activities to understand exactly what it was customers needed and wanted. And some of that work was very focused on cell phones, and with those companies, we did things with other companies too. but it really, you have to understand what your customers want and need in order to then drive this. So the first thing here, the 4 Ps: identification, selection, and development of a product, right? You all have a product slash service, right? That you're doing, okay? The determination of its price. And we're going to talk more about pricing here in a minute, but right, price is critical to what we do. We all know, right, when we walk into Walmart, that we may not get a lot of service, but we know we're going to get the best price. And that's why we walk into Walmart, because we're ready to shop there based on price, right? The selection of a distribution channel to reach the customer's place, right? How does your product or service get to the customer? And the development and implementation of a promotional strategy. How are you going to shout from the rooftops, this is what we do, come see us, this is our product or service, and this is how we can help you. And really, this understanding your competition, you can't underscore it enough. This day and age, I always say, it's a copycat world, right? Somebody sees you or your business doing something and they think it looks good. So then they do a file save as and do something similar for their business that works, right? So you really have to understand who your main competitors are. And I always look at least our top 3 competitors. And they could be local, but they could be national too, based on whatever your business is. Everybody kind of has a different thing that they're doing on this call today. So we have to understand who our main competitors are. All right. Once we understand our competition, then we have to compare ourselves to them, right? What are the features and benefits of our offering versus their offering, right? What is our pricing strategy versus their pricing strategy, right? What is the sales side, the market size, right? What is their strategy versus our strategy? Okay, how do you shape up, right? Compared to the rest of the marketplace? How does your business model run versus how their business model run? Are you more efficient? Are they more efficient? What can you do to improve, right? There's always someone out there, whether they're currently in business or just working on getting that business started, that can be a threat to us. Some of our threats, we don't even know who they are yet, right? And I don't have a slide on it, but right, the SWOT analysis on our marketing, right? The old-fashioned strengths, weakness, opportunities, threats. A great tool to use to look internally at our business first, right? To see what we, what our strengths and weaknesses, right, are, and to help guide us on the things that we may need to improve on. And understanding your competition helps you find your place in the market, because that helps drive your pricing strategy, that helps drive your delivery strategy, that helps drive everything you do, right? Nowadays, everybody, supply chain, right? Everybody says supply chain. That's why the prices have gone up, right? and I don't know if that's even the case anymore, but everyone's using that as a reason to have increased prices. And I know it's the case in many industries still, but that it's almost become a marketing term, right? That that demand for products and services is higher, and the prices have all gone up on us in one way or another, across pretty much every industry, right? And the reason most businesses say, right, is supply chain, right? So that's our easy out now. But that just understanding your competition, super important. You're gonna have this graphic here, and what we like to do is a little evaluation matrix to help understand our competition, compare ourselves to them. So choose 3 businesses, and take a look at these key things, right? Price, quality, location, services, integrity, variety, the employees. And if there are other things that you want to compare your business on, that's fine too, right? Um, and then compare your business to them and see what you're doing better or worse. Okay. You can use a number scale, right? 1 through 5, and you could do a smiley face or a frown face, right? Whatever you think is, works for you, but compare your business to some of your key competitors and see how do we compare on price? Am I better? Am I worse? Are they better? Right? Um, and if their price is cheaper, then we go to quality, right? Do we sell the same product? Do we sell a similar product that they're selling an off-brand or whatever else, right? All of these things factor into the consumer's purchasing decision, but they all matter for your marketing as well, right? We have to understand where our place is in the market, in order to be able to speak to our customers more effectively, to get them to our door, to market to them more effectively. So products and services. Descriptions should include, right, your value to the customer, the unique features and benefits of your product, your limits and liabilities, right, of what your product can do, any warranties that you offer, and things that consumers shouldn't do with the products, right? The production and delivery, your suppliers, your intellectual property. All of these things are come down to what it is we actually do. Okay. You need to be clear about what you are selling and what the customers are buying, right? And these are your descriptions online. These are the descriptions that your salespeople are giving to people when they're talking to them one-on-one, right? These things need to be laid out very clearly so that the customer understands, and whether you're selling to businesses or whether you're selling to consumers, right? So I'm sure everybody's heard the terms, right? But we'll probably say B2B, right? That's business to business sales, and B2C, that's business to consumer sales, right? So many of our businesses focus in different places, and the marketing is different when we're talking about business to business versus business to consumer, right? You're selling something to someone, that the end user of the product, right? Just a customer, right? It may be easier to sell it on Facebook or something else. A business to business sale may require more in-person time and attention, better description, better warranties, that sort of thing. So our products and services, our ability to describe them, is very important when we're marketing our businesses. All right, so our pricing strategy. Pricing strategy is something that we all need to take very seriously. And again, it depends, our businesses, I'll use a, Toyota, Lexus example, right? When we look at, different types of people who are buying our products and services, the income level matters, right? What value they see in the products and services matters. A Lexus is basically the same car as a Toyota, right? With more bells and whistles, but add 30, 40 grand to the price tag of it. But people are willing to pay for that. But yeah, right. So sorry, haven't finished my first cup of coffee yet. But the important thing to note is, right, who are your customers? And that's why it's so important that we need to understand who they are, because if they're willing to pay a premium for a premium product, then we have to provide premium services, right? Market price now, we have to be in the ballpark. It's very easy for people to shop around, and especially online, and find a similar product or service, right? We're all competing with somebody goes to a small business and then they see a product for X amount of dollars there, say, I'm not sure. And what do they do in the store or where, or maybe in the parking lot? They pull up the same thing on Amazon or another online retailer to see, is this a comparable price? Can I get it cheaper and delivered to my house, right? Um, but that's where we are, you know, as a as a world full of consumers. So we have to be competitive in how we set our pricing strategy and understand, where we're going and how we're, what is that price that makes our customers purchase our products and services. So um, we want to understand what the average price of all our competitors is for similar products, right? Um, If you elect a premium price, that's fine, but premium price requires premium service. There are some, when I was looking at hot water heaters for my home, right? There are a million different hot water heaters, a lot of different companies you can use to purchase them. Um, and I ended up going with one company that the price was more than other companies, but they gave a 7-year warranty replacement on the water heater, right? Which I think is up now. Um, but to me, it was worth it because if something happened, they would come out and swap it out for free. So, what are the value added premiums, right, that you can add to your business that you may be able to add to the price in order to entice a customer to buy from you, someone is willing to purchase something like that from you. When we talk about channel considerations, so, goods move through different channels and, some folks are selling directly to the consumer. Um, some folks are purchasing from a dealer and then reselling to a consumer. But what happens when the dealer is selling direct to consumer in the same industry, right? That can get tricky because the dealer can many times offer a better price than you can to the consumer, right? So what can you do to overcome that better price from the dealer? Um, and again, these are add-ons, these are service related things that we can do to entice people to buy from us versus buying from someone else. Other options that we look at, right, are markup on costs, bundling. So bundled offerings, let me go back to markup on cost. So every industry has a, kind of general standard markup on the cost of their goods or services. Some are 50%, some are 100%, some are 150%, right? It depends on what industry and what you're doing. So you have to understand where your competition is there and the general markup that's off, that is done within your industry in order to price your product effectively. Bundling, so we can offer bundled offerings that are, a combination of products and services that may give you a leg up and offer, folks a feeling of a better deal because they're getting multiple things from you, whether it be product or service, or maybe it's, if you're selling a tractor, there's something, an extra in there that, an add on to the tractor that isn't done by your competition, right? So we have to look at how we can maybe bundle things to give folks again, that feeling of getting a better deal from you and your business. The customer type, we talked about business versus consumer, right? And understanding the different ways we need to sell to them and the different places we need to be in order to sell to them. And then our promotions, right? What types of promotions are we going to use to attract these new customers? And those promotions can be in store, they can be online, they can be, many different things. There's a lot of ways to connect and talk to our customers, but we have to get some of the basics done here first. When we look at pricing considerations, right, the initial price is the cost of materials and service plus profit, right? We want it to match or be close to our competition. You know, we may have to adjust the price. Okay. We can do that by monitoring customer demand, right? Again, we can do that by comparing to our competition. We're ensuring value to our customer by doing that. And we're reducing costs potentially before increasing prices. You know, it's been a tough run in New York for pricing too. You know, labor costs have gone up. You know, probably the last 4 or 5 years in a row. They probably for many years before that too. So, you know, as the price of, or excuse me, as the minimum wage has gone up, you know, price of goods and services has gone up, and you know, that's part of what we see. You know, also in a tough labor market, trying to find the best employees, the cost of finding those good employees has gone up too. So, you know, when we look at adjusting our price, you know, hopefully there are ways we can reduce costs, but you know, food costs are up, gas costs are up, everything is up, right? So the delivery costs to all of your businesses are up, right? Unless you're you know, not, you know, in a more service oriented business, but at the same time, right? Your cost of going somewhere is up, right? Because of the gas prices and things. So and we don't want our price to ever be set too low, especially as a small business. You know, that's a good way to not get, you know, to where you want to go. We don't want to have price wars. I would say for small businesses, you know, people want to buy from you because of who you are. They want to buy from you because of your story. They want to buy from you many times because they know your family or you're local in the, you know, to the town that they live in. And that is something that, you know, um, other online retailers and things cannot compete with, right? Um, you know, at the SBA, we do a lot of, you know, buy local, shop local things. I know the chamber does that a lot. You know, it's super important, and helping people to understand that, you know, keeping money in their communities and purchasing from your local small businesses, you know, really helps the rest of the community over time, right? I mean, I everyone's seen that meme. I think, you know, Amazon isn't sponsoring your kid's baseball team or whatever, the local baseball teams and that sort of stuff, right? I mean, that's what we need to think about too as we work through our marketing and pricing considerations. Is you know, that buy local, that keeping the money to get in our communities, super important. And it really, it tugs at people's right heartstrings, and the fact that they want to be a part of what's going on, and keep businesses flourishing in their community. All right. But we don't do price wars. You know, you don't want to get into a price war. If somebody wants to undercut you by 20%, you let them. They're probably in many cases going to put themselves out of business, one way or the other. And you know, we take that in with a grain of salt. So um any questions on that stuff before I move on pricing? All right. um so identifying our target markets, this is the biggest input to all of your marketing. We have small business development centers that can help you with this. Our score mentors can help you with this. Um, but really, who is your customer, right? Understanding their profile, understanding their key demographics, their income level, their gender, where they are geographically. You know, are they wholesale? Are they retail? You can't really underscore enough how much this drives your competition, or where your marketing should be, right? We always hear people talk about that you want to reach the younger generation now, right? It's Instagram and Snapchat to help market there. You want to reach a broader base of people in the I guess I'm in the older generation now too, right? Then you're on Facebook trying to hit a broader audience. So it really, what is your product or service? Who is the person that buys from you? Being able to describe that very specifically, whether it's men, women, is it generally people with an income of 50,000 or more? Or is it people with an income of 150,000 or more? Are they, families, right? Somebody's campground here, right? A lot of times that's families and other folks, right? Maybe they're a significant portion of your business versus campers that are couples are 25%, but families are 75%. So you're trying to go after folks that are those key demographics and understand who is spending the most money with you. That's in essence what identifying your target markets is. Who spends the most money with you? That way you can push your marketing and advertising dollars into that way you can push your marketing and advertising dollars into channels that are in platforms that are going to reach them, right? So that's why we look at this. Okay, people's buying habits and behaviors. Do folks buy from you once a week, or do they come vacation with you once or twice a year? Do they purchase from your online store? Is it a recurring purchase? Are these purchases that happen every once in a while? So we need to take a look at all those things when identifying our target markets. Our library in Erie County too has and I don't know if the one in Genesee County has one as well, but they have a book a librarian program. You can get access to the databases that provide a lot of information on who your customer is and how to profile them. And does Richmond, is it Richmond Library, Stephen, Eric? Do they have any of those services? Do you know?
I do not know. I would
Okay.
imagine.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, just another place, if you don't go to our small business development center or talk to someone from SCORE to help you with your marketing plan, that you can go to get that information. All right. Got to be clear about who we're marketing to. Sorry. Target market comparison and selection, right? Fills targeted customer needs. All right. We want the most profitable customers for us. Again, the ones that are spending a lot of money with us. Those are the ones we want to, that's our target market, right? The people who keep coming back. All right. The people who provide more sales. All right. So these folks, right, offer us a favorable competitive environment, right? And they have a link to our vision, to our skills, to the mission of our business, to the values that our company offers, right? They keep coming back and buying from us for a reason, okay? And these are all people of a similar profile that that want to talk to us, so and purchase from us. All right, so when we look at our marketing strategy outline, we started to write down information, 75 words or less earlier, right, about what we do. And, our message to customers needs to be clear, needs to be concise, right? We need to choose, right, where it's going, through what channel, in our sales approach. So are we a direct sale? Do we sell online, right? do we need to sell in person? Do we just sell over the phone? Do we have to give someone a test drive, or let them, use and touch and see the product and service in their environment first? Okay. So some of the methods used in related costs, right? There's one-time costs, right? If you have a sales booth or have to set up a website, everyone obviously should have, a website, even if it's a one-pager kind of business card website to find you online. Don't just have a Facebook page, have a website and a Facebook page. If you're going to do that, the website again doesn't have to be, something super fancy that is going all, doing all sorts of stuff, but a website needs to be, somebody Googles, your product or service, something similar, and your website needs to be able to come up, right? Because a lot of times, even if it's just a Facebook page, right, it doesn't feel real. The first thing we do as consumers when we're looking at a product or service and thinking about something, whether it's at work or for our homes, is Google it, right? And figure out a little bit more information so we can be informed customers. Periodic expenses include your advertising and things like that, and reprinting of materials and brochures, staff marketing approaches and time, and other promotional activities. So all of these things cost your business money in one way or the other. And you have to have a budget for that. Super important for your business, to understand, how much it is you want to put into marketing. Your message itself needs to be concise and simple. It needs to fulfill targeted customer needs about the quality, the price, the availability, the dependability of your product or service. And it needs to clearly identify the features and benefits that make someone want to purchase your product, right? We always talk about the USP, right? The unique selling proposition. What is it that your business does that's another business, that your competitors doesn't do? Why should I come and buy from you? What is your unique selling proposition? And it needs to be consistently communicated in all of your marketing materials, your social media, if you do print media, if you do run, ads on the radio, whatever else, right? People need to, continue to hear that message, right? And the chamber again, going back to that, right? Promote, support, and connect businesses in Genesee County, right? It's easy to understand what that message is. And it should be that simple, right? For your customers to understand what it is that you do. And you just need to keep, as this gentleman's doing in the picture, shouting it from the rooftops. All right. We're not going to do this right now, but you can do this, on your own time. But your elevator pitch for your brand recognition, super important. What we do with that 75-word description is now reduce that to about a 25-word statement that clearly describes your business. Okay. That 75 words got us a lot of, information, more than we need in order to describe ourselves and our brand. Excuse me. Now we need to reduce that to a 25-word statement that clearly describes your business. So you can do that on your own time, or as we continue to go through here today. But that's what we're looking to do, is drill down, right? Now 25 words, and then we want to get to, 5 to 8 words, 8 to 10 words that, just roll off the tongue, that, somebody asks us what we do, here it is, right? It quick, short, sweet, be able to describe it. All right. So now 5 to 8 word branding statement from those 25 words, right? And a couple local examples, right? We've all heard these commercials or seen them, right? Hurt in a car, call William Matar, right? We know that, in an accident, right, in our cars, you know, that this gentleman, someone we can call, you know, in order to get legal help, right? Charlie, what a guy, right? Anybody know what that one's from?
Charlie the Butcher,
Yep,
Great Beef on Wick.
yep. All right, you'll have it made in the shade. Kohler awning, right? Call Kohler awning, you'll have it made in the shade, right? It's right. So like these are the imprints in our head, right? Over delivering all over Western New York. So that's if I sing it right, over delivering all over Western New York, Hamburg overhead door, right? And they've been running these commercials for 20 years, right? Just try, you know, and it just imprints in our heads. So we know that, right? So, and that's what you need to do is just continue, you know, to keep providing that message, to have your tagline, to have your branding message, so people know, right? I mean, they think about you the minute somebody says, "Oh, I need a new awning," or "I need a, you know, a new garage door," or whatever else, right? These are the messages that resonate with folks. All right, here we go. Marketing. All right, marketing communication methods and tools. So when we look at advertising, you know, a lot of different options: radio, TV, newspaper, magazine, direct mail. Yellow pages used to be something. You know, but right, these are all places to get our names out there. Public relations and print, radio, and on TV. Um, you know, collateral, business cards. Everybody should have a business card still, right? Trifolds are necessary in many of your businesses. Logoed, you know, stationery or flyers and signage are still important, right? I mean, you know, the web-based marketing is super important still, but you know, we still need to do these other things that we would call traditional marketing that we don't hear talked about as much, right? But it's about finding the mix for you and your business, right? You know, if you're a business that requires people to come to your place of operation, well, yeah, then you're going to need some good signage to let people know who you are, where you are, that sort of stuff. You know, and if you're not on a main street, you know, maybe you need to be able to find a way to put up a sign to get, you know, point people in the right direction to find you easily on a side street that's off Main Street, right? So it's important to still look at all the ways we're trying to drive people to us. Again, if we're driving people to us in person, make it easy for them to get there. If we're driving people to our websites to purchase products and services, you know, through e-commerce, make it an easy way for them to get there, right? If we don't sell on Facebook or Instagram, then we use Facebook and Instagram to drive people to the point of purchase, right? Everybody should also have your Google profile set up as a business. If you don't have it set up, it's something you need to do. We do workshops with Google a bunch. You know, setting up that Google profile for your business. If somebody Googles you, then they find you quickly. You can update your hours on that all the time, so someone knows if you're open or if you're not. You know, good thing about that is, you know, the ability to change it quickly so that someone doesn't drive 45 minutes to your store and then is angry because they found you online and the hours said you were going to be open, but you closed for the day, or your hours have changed. You know, everybody's kind of done a slim down a little bit hours, and sometimes businesses closing, you know, on a Monday or Tuesday. We look at the, you know, restaurant industry's been doing that more, just based on employees and changing eating habits for consumers, right? So you want to pay attention to that stuff and be able to let your customers know quickly or someone searching for you that may be coming to see you for the first time. So that Google profile is important. Email is still a very effective form of marketing to customers. That's why, you know, Kohl's and Walmart and everybody else sends us 100 emails every day about the, you know, new sales or 20% off or different products, right? You know, if you can collect, you know, 5 things from your customers, I always say first name, last name, email address, mobile phone number, and zip code give you basically the main things you need to market to someone in today's world or connect with them. First name, last name, email address, mobile phone number, and zip code, right? We're seeing more, you know, text message marketing at this point. I think it will continue to probably become more prevalent. If somebody is willing to, you know, offer their email or mobile phone number for that for your business, you know, they're willing to hear from you. So, you know, think about that as a collection point. You know, at your, if you don't, if you're not taking a full order that requires, you know, address and all that sort of stuff, you know, that zip code will also help you target different markets and places that are coming to see you, so that, you know, that can maybe give you a place that you can do some Facebook ads in different, you know, areas that aren't, you know, your local area. All right, so your marketing budget, your budget depends on your industry, the size and the stage of your business. You know, we usually say about 20% for an early stage business, right? You're trying to build your brand, you're trying to get the word out there. You know, 20% of revenues, by the way. Early stage business, building a, you know, because you got to shout it from the rooftops. That first 18 months to 2 years is difficult, right? You know, building a following early is super important. But getting the word out about, you know, who you are and what you're doing, and leveraging, you know, the different channels and avenues you can, very important. 6 to 10% of revenues, usually for a typical profitable business, is what we kind of the baseline on a marketing budget across small businesses in the industry. And again, I know this is different for everyone, but you have to have some sort of marketing budget. You know, if you're, it can't be zero, right? You have to figure out a way to get in front of customers. You know, even if you're starting a business and, you know, you want to market on social media, you have to, unfortunately, you know, buy followers, buy friends to start, you know, getting the word out there about yourself. So you have to have some sort of budget to be able to talk to your customers. And once you've decided on a budget, though, that helps you guide, you know, where you can spend it, how you can spend it, and the different type of marketing programs you're going to do, right? Everything we do in business should have a budget attached to it. You know, I'm a numbers guy, and I think, you know, we have to, even if it's a couple $100 a month or whatever it may be, you know, that has to be used to market our businesses, to continue to put our name out there, to continue to try to drive customers to our doors. And yeah, maybe one month we don't spend the full budget, but then we can roll it over into the next month, right? So we have a little bit of extra. You know, if we're having a larger promotion one month versus another month, just find what works for your business. You know, these are general guide numbers that that small businesses tend to use, that we see. But again, you know, everybody's situation is different, but you have to find it somewhere in the budget to be able to do some marketing, whether that's, you know, in some sort of print or on the radio or television or online, whatever it may be. All right. As we're thinking about sales, marketing gets customers to the door. It does not make the sale. You know, marketing brings us people. Now we have to have a sales cycle prepared based on the marketing plan. All of the things and the great features and benefits that we talk to people about, now we have to deliver on them. right? That this is where we close, right? And whether that is, again, online at your e-commerce store, with the same messaging as people are looking at our products and services, about our warranties, about our guarantees, about the services we provide, or it's in person when someone comes in and we talk to them, or over the phone, whatever it may be. We have to deliver on the things that we just told them to make it to our door. All right. How do we do that? Right. We know the features and benefits of our products and services, right? And we can explain them. We understand our competitors' strengths and weaknesses, so that we can overcome their strengths and capitalize on the weaknesses they have. We ask questions. We listen to our customers, right, and offer solutions. We don't rush the sale. We follow through with our promises. And I think this is a big one right here, knowing the value your company brings to the customer experience, right? And again, as small businesses, we all do something special, and people want to buy from us for a reason I talked about earlier. That's part of the value, and part of the value of working with a small business is that many times you're working with the business owner, who is also, the expert in the field, or, on the product or service. And there's something comforting about that to customers. And I think, that value is shown in how do you deliver your services. Recurring sales depend on reliable product and quality service. And, word of mouth is your best sales tool. Yes, it is, right? But now word of mouth is, also on Facebook and whatever else. So it's word of mouth on steroids, I always say, this day and age, right? And many times we have, folks shouting from the rooftops about how bad things are. But, you see other Facebook posts when someone gets bad service or a bad product. But you see other posts about, how well, a person did. The Facebook has recommendations, looking for recommendations for a landscape or whatever else, right? And then you get a whole list of comments of people, recommending different businesses on there. So word of mouth, was always great, but it's now word of mouth on steroids. All right, keeping your customers and getting new ones. When you have a new prospect, provide a wow experience, right? We say thank you. We continue to reach out to our new customers, right, through different ways. Get them on your mailing list. Keep them updated on what it is you and your business are doing. Then also engaging people, right? We discuss promotions, events, ask them to share information, ask your customers for referral. Right. And just kind of finishing up here, word of mouth is the best form of advertising. It costs more to sell a new customer than a satisfied one, right? We all know the data on that, right? Costs a heck of a lot more money to get a new customer than continue, down a road with a customer who has worked with us before. All right, your marketing plan serves as a roadmap to your success. It defines your customer and competition. It describes the steps you require to be successful. It will save you money by focusing on where you spend. If we can, double back to that target market, that's where we plow our dollars into. Let's not worry about the folks that spend 10% of the money with our business in the marketing, right? The customer profile that spends 70% of the revenue we bring in is the one we want to focus on. You'll feel more organized and confident with a clear vision of your marketing goals. Customer feedback lets you pivot or change off the offering, right? Because it's defined by the market, right? They're letting you know if this works or if it needs a change, whether the change be in warranty or whatever else. And a marketing plan increases your chance to achieve the business success that you desire, right? That's a business plan, a marketing plan, all of these things should be written down in one way or another. written, typed on your computer, right? But this helps organize your thoughts. And, you know, this is why we recommend to people to do a business plan, to do a marketing plan, to spend some time thinking, because it's not just, you know, you're not just writing the plan to write a plan. You're writing the plan and then it becomes your book, right? It becomes your strategy, right? This is what I use. Now you've put the work in to get to here. Now you use that plan to run your business or to market your business. So the bottom line, by doing your research, you will determine whether your idea or business will be successful or not. From Colin Powell, there's no secret to success. It is the result of preparation, hard work, and learning from failure. I'm sure all of us business owners here can attest to that. And I think it's right about 10 o'clock. So does anybody have any questions? Questions, comments, concerns? Happy to answer anything.
Well, Greg, if there's no questions, want to thank you again, and everyone else, thank you for joining us. As I mentioned before, our next workshop, I believe, Stephen, there'll be a Zoom component to it.
Yeah.
August 10th, reputation management with our friends down over at the Better Business Bureau of Upstate New York.
Yeah, and that's probably what Greg was talking about with the social media one in the beginning, because they're going to be covering part of that, you know, how to manage your reputation on social media.
And, you know, I have to put in a plug, but one of the best ways to promote your business very inexpensively is just to become a chamber member. So if you're not, reach out to Stephen. We have quite a large social media following. And if you are a chamber member and you want to get your name out there, we'd love to help promote you in that capacity. So feel free to reach out at any point in time. As Stephen mentioned, this is recorded, so we'll throw it up on our YouTube page, and you can go back and look at it if there was something you missed or wanted to get again. You'll have the ability to do that. Missy Call, make sure you go back and tell your dad 10% of his revenue is your new budget. So, all right. Well, thank you, everybody. Good luck. And we're here to help if you need us.
All right. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thanks, Greg.